What is up, everybody? How's it going? Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Today, I want to share part two of my current server world and discuss what I built and expanded upon. So, let's get into it. Now, I changed a few things. So, the first thing is I kind of took away this farm down here. I think I already showed you that was blank because I moved. That's kind of stays the same. It's kind of the nether room. That one, I'm not sure. I think I showed you that as well. The room I did create, just because I was bored, was this kind of fire room with the glowstone stone and like this nether fire. So I thought it was really cool. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this room yet, but something. And then we'll continue down into the main basement here. I just expanded this upon this. I mined a bunch of stone, kind of expanded kind of there and 10 there, just to get more slimes to spawn, but I haven't really had any luck. And then, so that was kind of interesting because I just wanted more cobblestone. I also created that room. And then the main mansion here, I kind of made some changes. I kind of moved the dogs over into what I call the explorer room with a bunch of maps here. Um, bunch of random maps that I have found and kind of like explored upon. And then yeah, here are my doggos. Um, and then this room, I actually made this into like a potion room. All I have is a bunch of potions and all these chests, in case I need them. So that was the major two changes, and then I this room I made. This was the doggo room. This is now the trophy room, with all the heads. And then I don't know if I showed you this. The banner room. I kind of added more banners. I think those are the major changes. Now, let me give you a brief overview, and I'll do it at the end as well of what I'm going to show you. So, the last video I think I was looking up is that I don't think I expanded. I carved that section of the mountain, um, and kind of took that over, and I kind of added more stuff. I think I even carved this chunk of the mountain too. And what I did is also I expand the land to go further. I think it ended like somewhere around there, if I remember right. So I expanded fully to there, to get the full 120 chunks. So let's get into it. The first change that I made was I added this little ocelot farm, um, so I could just breed ocelots and if I need them. I still haven't expanded anything upon here. I don't know what to put over there. But what I did was I was actually intrigued and wanted to build my own sheep farm for every single color. Just because I wanted to have every single color and get the achievement. So what I did is created like this little hotel quad style thing where um, you had like all these kind of sheep, with the glass color and their font, um, like it's the exact color of what they are. So yeah, I kind of expanded upon this. This is like a manual farm I did, and expanded upon it, um, just to include every single color to match the exact color of the wool itself. And so I expanded upon that, and I did that for every single color and created these two just to manually farm this. And then I realized, and then I looked up, wait, can it be done automatically? And the question is yes. So what I did, and what I realized from the last video, I had this and didn't expand upon it. So what I did is I took this land over here and put an automatic sheep farm here. And this is kind of cool, because it took me a long time to do this. Basically, I took the sheep that were all the way over there and basically carried them all the way to here. Sorry, I'm gonna change something here. And then bro- brought them inside their own glass containers here to match the colors along with the signs and the font and the color signs. Basically, yeah, the um, the wool goes down into the grass, falls down into a hopper, and below all this grass are a bunch of hoppers feeding it to one centralized chest here. And this is where I get all the colors. It just feeds into here. And what I do once, if it gets full, I'll just take the full stacks and put them into individual chests here to match their colors. Again, the color of the wool is the color of the signs, vice versa. It's kind of cool touch, like black, green, red, brown, cyan. All matches the colors I need, and kind of like built this little hut. Kind of the match that over there, kind of like the jungle, and then this little cool blue roof here. Um, just found this like hut to be really cool. What I also did is we added jobs into the server. So as you can see, each one you can have different kind of jobs. So what I did is for the beekeeper, you can see I have to collect honey bottles, and then I level up from there. So what I decided to do is expand upon my bee farm here, and I'll show you that later in the distance. But basically, I have all these types of bees and their nests, and I expanded upon the hives and the honey just so I can get that. And so I think the other change I did was make a little tiny cocoa bean farm here in case I never ever need cocoa beans. Because what I realized is that cocoa beans are great to make green wool, to make green dye too. So that's why I have this in case I ever need anything. Let's go over here. I also built this contraption over here. This is kind of cool because this lava I realized can drip from these dripstone blocks and go into these cauldrons. And basically, I have an infinite source of lava and fuel. So, for example, I could just take this and put it into a um, furnace, and I'll have infinite fuel. So, yeah, it just drips down, and then eventually it um, goes into a full lava pit. So, into the cauldron there. So I basically have an infinite amount of fuel source because I have so much lava here that I can use. The next thing I did get was and build was I think I did show you this, but I'm not quite sure. Give me a second. I'm looking at my last video to see if I did show you this or not. Yes, okay. So this was built already. And then what I did was expand this mountainside to expand more space and more chunks. So I could build some more stuff back there or include our platform. But yeah, so I expanded all this. It did take me a while because as you can see, I'm going to show you, my pickaxe is one at a time. And so it does take a while, especially when I did carve this whole mountain because I had to do it individually and it wasn't through efficiency. So the next thing I did build was this automatic honeybee farm because the thing is, but you collect honeycomb bottles, and you have to collect it manually. You can't do it automatically. So I built this contraption to see if it worked, but also if I can collect the experience for the job. And unfortunately, it cannot. So this is kind of a dead farm right now, even though it does produce honey bottles. So that's kind of cool. Next thing I did build was this big cactus farm. Basically, yeah, the cactus break, they fall into here underneath, and the same goes there. The cactus falls from that hole, goes straight into there, and basically I can collect the cactus that way. And all the hoppers fall into these chests that I can collect from this one centralized chest here for all the cactus needs I need. And so the other thing, I think I did show you this pumpkin and melon farm, but what I did expand upon is making more and more bee nests and hives here. In total, I think I have around 80 nests and hives manually over there and over here. Kind of expand upon there. And then what I do is this is kind of like the manual tree farming because what I do is I manually get the nests by manually doing this. And so I have a bunch of bone meal, and what I can do is just plant the bone meal, and it'll and just keep doing that until I get a bee nest. Now this contraption over here, this is actually a farm. I tried to make an automatic farm based on a video. It didn't really work because what this was supposed to do, the farmer is supposed to collect and bring this over to this guy where he's supposed to put in this chest. But instead, it's not working. I think either they put it in the composter or they just don't hand it over. So yeah, this was a hard project because I'll show you. I took away the rails, but basically I built rails going all the way from here, going to a village, and I basically expanded where I was like over here, and then I brought it up here, and then I brought the rails all the way from here, all the way to the closest village, which is over here. Um, and so I needed that because I needed to transport some villagers. Um, basically over since you can't like lure them, you have to like put them in a mine cart and transport them that way. So it was a really big project basically for nothing because the farm ended up being a dead end because again they don't really hand things over to the other person here. So I just left this as a memento just to see if I did anything. So I got some farmers and some villagers there. And then I expanded from the last video. I think it ended around here. And then I expanded all the chunks going back to here. And so this one was a big project because I put like probably 4 or 5 layers of dirt all the way from there, going back from like all the way to there. So all this space was filled in with grass and dirt. And then you had like this little pond down here. Still haven't really done anything with that yet. So, um, and then let's go to the last thing, which I just built recently, like very recently, and that is another building for my bee farms. Kind of like to have it more organized rather than just over there and over there. So what I did is build this thing out of honey blocks, honeycomb, and just a bunch of glass. And what I'm going to do is actually breed some bees here because they're a little short. Um, there we go. Sorry, I needed to do that. This is the last farm I added, so they're a little short on bees. But basically, I have every single honeycomb farm, and I built it up to 3 layers: second layer and third layer. So it's a really cool design. I kind of like really like it because you got the honeycomb, honey block, basically everything you need out of honey. And kind of like the grass here, so you can put flowers down, so they can produce the pollen. So this was a really cool design. The other thing I added is because I wanted to expand to my fullest potential of 120 chunks. As you can see here, I have 120 out of 120 right there. So it's the max amount of chunks I can have. I did add this lookup area over there, which I did put that whole mountain in a bunch of torches, so no things can or zombies or monsters can spawn. So I'm gonna warp up there, and basically I call this the lookout, basically because it looks out over my entire village. Um, and this is kind of cool because it just shows everything that I've accomplished so far, from the cactus farm to all the bee farms, especially that huge building. Everything from my automatic sheep and wool farm, colored wool farm. So it's just a really cool thing I could just see, and Um, People will ask why there's a door here, because any monsters that could come here I can protect, and it's just a double door. I can get inside. And then yeah, it kind of just looks out the whole village, and it's a really cool thing because it's like made of glass, and it's just a really cool structure here, kind of like the lookout from Firewatch, the game there. So it's a really cool system. Um, Now this is all the progress I basically made. You saw that I didn't really show you much of inside because there wasn't really too much I changed, but basically here on the outside I added that, I added that, I added that, that. There's still much more I can expand upon. Put something over there, stuff over there. I can put stuff over there, and probably stuff over there, and maybe some stuff back there. So I haven't expanded fully, but this is kind of like the main village. Now the other thing I did do was create a second land, and I'll show you that. And that other one was called Valhalla. I'll call this Star of Orion. And basically, what I did here is I added kind of like another land and expanded to 120 chunks. I added another mansion here, kind of like in a different style, but more or less the same, just made out of stone. Basically, I expanded all back there, so I'm probably gonna add something back there, and um, started some farms, bee farm, cow, sheep, pig, um, and I probably only like added 2 or 3 animals. Have to expand, but got all this land, got all there, back there. So it's really cool. Just the start of another land in case I need it. Yeah, and let me show you how this big, this in perspective this is. I'll fly high up in the air, and basically, yeah, I have all this to work upon. Probably I'll just recreate the stuff I did from the first village of Valhalla, but yeah, it's really cool that like yeah, I have this much space. Like it took me a while to actually expand upon it because there's a lot of stuff I can work with here. And basically from there I can basically um, just explore new ideas, put new farms in, whatever I need to do, and basically I have all this land to myself. That's the best thing about the lands plugin. It could protect any assets you have and any farms you may have created. So what I'm going to do is show you part of this house is I have only added the master bedroom and added probably chests in every single room. I did expand and try to make a tunnel, but the tunnel only went so far because it went into some water, and I'm like, I don't really want to go in and try to mess with the water and everything. I just don't have the tools for that or the time. But yeah, as you can see there, um, it's like the whole cave system underneath. So yeah, that's kind of like my second base, but yeah, as you can see, I created and expanded much upon this. Everything from my colored wool farm to my bee farm to cactus farm to the fuel source, everything about it. This was a really cool town. I'll keep expanding, but this is kind of like my update, just to show you guys, and it's really cool because it's really cool of what I built, um, and kind of like what I've accomplished in terms of the last update. So let me know if you guys have any suggestions about what I should build next. Because there's still lots of space I can use and a lot of ideas. Minecraft is infinite in terms of how much stuff you can do. Um, so let me know, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And with lots of love and respect, you guys, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.